the High Council, or the Order of the Six. These are the mysterious figures that were shown in the DLC for Doom the Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages Revelations. You see them all across hell with these statues that are placed everywhere. Shrines, gathering areas for the demons to pray, and also in person, where the Doomslayer goes to confront them, but ultimately loses. Who are they? Where do they come from? What are they? And how powerful are they? Said on the Doom Wiki, the High Council, also known as the Order of the Six, is the ruling body of hell in the absence of the Dark Lord. The Dark Lord being the true god of the Doom universe, Davoth. These are 6 ancient archdemons who command invasions to the multiverse. In order to get to the High Council, one must acquire a device called the Oracle. The Oracle shown in Revelations was a device that is used to open the gates to the High Council, but also to escape Purgatory, where the Doomslayer himself has to confront the demons of his past. It appears that the Order of the Six have this capability of controlling your past trauma, the trauma you experience and the guilt that you hold. And this is very powerful when it is used against you. The High Council consists of many figures, some very gruesome looking demons. Saruthiel, the Old Father, Judge of Dawn, first of the 6. Karnoth, the Armorer, Judge of Morning, second of the 6. Garzeth, the Treacherous, Judge of Noon, third of the 6. Iskathra, Judge of Twilight, fourth of the 6. Thalasha, the last Queen of Jakad, Judge of Evening, fifth of the 6. Ozalith, the Old Mother, Judge of Midnight, sixth of the 6. And many that serve them, such as Belias and Prince Azrak. What is curious to me is that throughout some of the campaign of the base game, we see many statues of archdemons such as Erebus and some others that I cannot quite rule out, which I was under the impression that they would be the Order of the Six. However, I was surprised when it came to not be the truth. Now, the Order of the Six, let's talk about their design. Now, the Order of the Six have very interesting designs. It's very reminiscent of the God Hand from Berserk, and I wonder if they had some sort of inspiration there. I digress. Saruthiel, the Old Father, looks particularly interesting. It reminds me a bit like that Hellraiser parody from that one Rick and Morty episode, I'll put an image down so you understand what I mean. However, I really like the design. It's very unique and very intimidating. Now, I can only assume that Saruthiel, who is the first of the 6, is the leader of the 6, potentially, if there is one. He almost has a similar contrast that the Dark Lord had when he was revealed. Very similar physique. Doesn't look the same, but you can see the similarities and the vibe of it, almost. Very interesting. Now, not much is known about the origins of the individuals present in the High Council of Hell. Now, the only thing that I can maybe explain about the origin of Seruthiel, the Old Father, is within his name itself. The Old Father, let's speak about that title. It indicates that he is ancient, potentially the oldest of the six. Maybe not the oldest, but the second oldest. He's depicted as a senior figure within the High Council, clearly. He must be the one that's responsible for maybe most of the governing aspects of hell. Also, his positioning. When you see him in the area, this arena-looking area for the High Council, he is positioned at the top centre, which highlights his importance. So he must be the leader. Now, the name Seruthiel itself is often considered symbolic of wisdom and authority, which also aligns with his title. Now, focusing on his design is more Maker-like than demonic. It's still very demonic. He has a extremely intimidating and dramatic appearance. However, the head design, it's so Maker-like, almost reminiscent of the Khan Maker, or maybe Bishop Creed. It's very similar to Makers, which interests me. But also to mention his title as Judge, the Judge of Dawn. Now that is interesting, because what does dawn mean? Dawn means beginning, and what else was the beginning? Davoth, God. Next, we have Karnoth the Armourer. Now, Karnoth the Armourer has a very descriptive design from the name alone. And Karnoth the Armourer is sort of obvious, it's in the name. He must be completely responsible for the demonic weaponry, armour, and the technology that you see and fight against in the main game and the DLC itself. There's not much that I can deduce from this one that is not obvious. It is the second member, but it's also got a title just like the first, Judge of Mourning. So it's the second coming of the beginning. Karnoth the Armourer is a conqueror. It's a demon of conquest, and a powerful demon. Next we have Gazeth, the treacherous Judge of Noon, and third of the six. This one confuses me. Treacherous can mean many things, but all align with the evilness that hell endows. What he is described as in the Codex is someone who demands offering, and in return his followers gain favour. So he's a demon of greed, but he's called treacherous. What does treacherous derive from? It derives from treachery. And what does treachery mean? Treachery is the act of deliberate betrayal and the violation of trust. This must mean that when you give your offering, he spits in your face, and what you wished for, you must have been careful towards. Now, we actually know more about this demon than a lot of other demons. He has his own temple. It's like a glittering spire, and the betrayers and the guilty lay there, punished, tortured for their sins. But as a demon of greed himself, who hoards the treasures that he retains from those who betray, he punishes greed and rewards cunning. Iskathra has only one name, but the title as Judge of Twilight. What could this mean? Well, she is described as someone who demands lust, flesh, and all that is impure. The suffering is so severe that even those who suffer shall feel ecstasy. A disgustingness, foulness, and revolting nature that is within lust embodies those who support her. Her design is rather interesting. If you were to look at her closely, almost her entire body is made out of hands, and those hands seek out people who live in lust and bring them suffering so great, even pleasure is painful, but the pain is pleasurable. It's an incomprehensible loop of torment. Now, have you noticed her seat of power? It almost looks like a curtained brothel, which is disturbing, to say, at least, where sinners go worship her, and in return, they endure her uniquely cruel pleasures until all there is left is terror. Next, I find most interesting, this name sparks some sort of curiosity. Thalrasha, the last queen of Jakad, judge of evening, and 5th of the 6. Jakad, that is what hell is called before the unfortunate wrath that Davoth lay upon his realm. And Thalrasha is a very dramatic name, and it requires a lot of speculation. The last queen of Jakad, does this imply that she is one of the people of Jakad, or that the demons themselves are the people of Jakad morphed into disgusting creatures? Or is she from Emora? A lot of speculation to be had here. But what exactly does she punish those with? She's an old queen. But what does not make sense to me is that all the others are ancient like her, yet some are more ancient. Saruthiel, the old father, and Ozalith, the old mother, both so old and ancient. Then are they demons? If Thalrasha is old enough to survive from the days of when Jakad was pure, as the last queen, becoming demonic and punishing those who sin. Where do Saruthiel and Ozalith come from? Are they of the cosmic realm, or from the void that stared back at creation when it spewed Davoth out into the realms that he created? Now, Thalrasha acts as a central member of the High Council. She's called Judge of Evening, 5th of the 6. Her dominion is a dominion of sorrow and misery, a place where the unfaithful and cowards pray hopelessly for salvation, yet it never comes, and only despair washes over their souls. She preys on the innocent, those who truly wanted paradise after death, yet due to the deal between heaven and hell, are cast into the fiery pits, turned merely into nothing but energy to be used for technology. A true Gothic brutalist, cosmic horror of religious blasphemy. She devours joy, and in return, sin is nurtured. Last but not least, Ozalith, the old mother, Saruthiel. Both are described as older than all the other archdemons, which interests me, considering we have another archdemon, the last queen of Jakad, which should be considered the oldest because of how ancient Jakad truly is, and this implies that she has been here since the days of purity. However, these are described as older. It makes me wonder if they are truly demonic or something even worse. She is known as the Judge of Midnight, and has a very reminiscent design of the Mother Demon boss fight from Doom 64. There's some speculation online claiming that she and the Mother Demon are the same. However, that cannot be true, as Doomguy kills the Mother Demon before entering hell, eventually finding himself at Argent Tadur. Not much is known about her and what she represents. However, my understanding is that she is an undefeatable judge, casting judgment that is completely unavoidable as a grand sinner, and the punishment is the most severe. How old are these demons? One has been here as a queen of Jakad, the last queen of Jakad, and the two, old mother and the old father, are regarded older than the last queen herself. How old are these archdemons? Were they here before Jakad? Where did they come from? And why do they rule in the absence of the Dark Lord? All very interesting. I hope these questions get answered clearly with later installments in the game, or maybe another game entirely. However, I prefer the mystery. The mystery of the High Council makes them deadly and undisputed as the most intimidating villains I have came across in a long time. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like, my friends. It really helps out. Comment down below what I should talk about next. And remember to hit that notification bell so you always know when I upload another video. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you